Hello and welcome back to Umineko When They Cry, episode 25. Now you might be thinking, but it's not Sunday. It's a Christmas miracle. It's a Christmas miracle that we are recording an episode today, and I also really wanted to make up for last week. Yet again. Still not at my prime health. I'm not feeling my best, but I am feeling so much better. So, yeah, since it is Christmas, for me at least, I time zoned, whenever people are watching, and I received a few gifts. I also received yet another CD, and so, since I'm thinking about it, I'd like to recommend it to you guys. If you get a chance to, you should listen to Haunted by Poe, P-O-E. Great album. Great album. And I found out recently it's a companion album to House of Leaves, if you know of that book. If you know of that book. Regardless, the last episode was actually kind of nice. Slice of life, Shannon and Beatrice hanging out, drinking tea. Okay, well, that's enough. Let's continue. So, Beatrice's... I think we read this last time, but I'm gonna read it again. Beatrice's body also became golden butterflies, which scattered in all directions and disappeared. It was a fantastical and beautiful scene, like a blizzard of gold leaf. For a while, Shannon quietly watched the witch's exit. Cannon approached her from behind and spoke with an expression that was drastically different from hers. "Nia-san, didn't I tell you to stay away from her?" "Beatrice-sama isn't that bad of a person. Yes, she might be a little shady, but the fact that only we can see her is suspicious enough. That thing isn't human. Who knows what she might be planning?" Cannon, buddy, according to you yourself, you aren't human. You're furniture. So, are we really... are we really playing with that game? Cannon, I think that's a little rude. There was a touch of sternness in Shannon's voice, which was unusual for her. To Cannon, who knew her well, she must have sounded extremely stern. Cannon, looking excessively surprised considering Shannon's tone, fell silent. "It's true that Beatrice-sama is different from humans. She has a terrifying power, so I think it's right for us to fear and respect her. Still, I think it's incredibly rude to despise her just because she isn't human." "I understand what you're trying to say, Nissan. You've changed ever since she gave you that brooch. It's like you're her prisoner. She brought you and George-sama together, and now you're indebted to her." "Don't say things like that. That thing isn't human. We don't know what she's thinking, so you mustn't trust her. And we aren't humans either, Nissan." Okay, so yeah. According to you, you aren't human. So is this like non-human hostility? Cannon's words grew more serious. Those words probably gouged at Shannon's heart. She bit her lower lip and hung her head. "We are furniture. Even if we receive names and are treated as humans, that won't change the manner of our birth." "You are no longer furniture." Those words Beatrice had given her, which had made her happiest, floated through Shannon's mind. "I am not furniture." "No, you are furniture. We are less than human. Nissan, you're just pretending to have forgotten. Pretending to be human. You know that as well as I do." "Cannon, you gotta be nice. Come on, buddy. Let her have something." "I am not furniture. I'm human." "No, you aren't. We have never possessed what it takes to love or be loved." Cannon's criticisms seemed to have shifted away from Shannon's meetings with the witch. Shannon picked up on that quickly. I heard from a lady. Seriously, what were you thinking? I can't believe you would go on a trip with George, Selma. You've forgotten your place as furniture. You've just been tempted by that witch, mistakenly believing that you've become a human. Listen, Kenningun. It's true that we're furniture. Lesser beings, inferior to humans. But if it were possible to make up for what we lack, wouldn't that be the same as becoming human? Such a thing could never happen. No, it could. If we can do that, we won't be furniture anymore. We can become human. Ridiculous. As if you could ever do such a thing. Cannon, Jesus! Cannon spat those words out, but did so weakly and turned away. He was probably giving up. After all the suffering he'd undergone during those days he'd lived as furniture, his heart was firmly sealed. You can do it too, Kenningun. You can become a normal human. Stop it. That's the witch talking. Yes, Beatrice Sama taught me. By obtaining the single element of this world, we can become human. Or rather, nobody's human if they don't have that. That's why people spend their entire lives trying to gain that single element. Is it love? I think I guessed that last time. This element we speak of, it's love, right? I don't understand what you're saying, Nisan. I don't want to listen to ranting. Then I'll teach it in a way even you can understand. Look, see what I'm pointing at? The sky. Oh, my bad. Shannon quietly pointed at the sea, towards the horizon. Cannon didn't understand what she meant, and couldn't do anything except to look between the horizon and Shannon's expression, which seemed to be posing a riddle. The sea. Cannon, what color does the sea look to you? It was an extremely simple question. For a while, Cannon tried to guess at the meaning behind it, but he couldn't think of anything, so he answered obediently. It's a hazy, dark gray color. Oh no, he's a negative Nancy. No! Is it terminal? So what? Objectively speaking, the sea, laid out beneath a cloudy sky, could probably be described best by Cannon's words. But as Shannon closed her eyes and smiled, she shook her head slightly. It looks deep blue to me. Is that what you mean? Like how Japanese people use the word blue to refer to a green traffic light? Do they? I've never heard of that before. No. The sea is deep blue. If I understand and you don't, then that's the difference between us. Cannon bit his lower lip and was silent for a while. I don't understand. Cannon, would you stick out your hand? As Cannon was taken aback, unable to understand what she was saying, she took his arm and opened the palm of his hand. Shannon softly set something there. It was that magic brooch which she had received from Beatrice. Uh-oh. Does this mean everything's just gonna start going wrong for her now? A magic charm shaped like a gold butterfly that could bring love to fruition. This is hers? No, this is mine. So think of it as me and treat it with respect. Okay? He's gonna, like, throw it in the ocean. After being spoken to like that, he couldn't just throw it away. My bad. I made an assumption. My bad. Cannon didn't know what he should do, and he stood there confused for a while, the brooch still on the palm of his hand. Shannon put the palm of her hand on top of Cannon's, and the brooch was warmed by both of their hands. This charm holds true magical power. I'm sure it'll teach you an important emotion, Cannon-kun. There's nothing to be learned from that person's magic. No. There is something. So wear it. If that's embarrassing, I hear it's okay if you just hide it in your pocket. Ridiculous. as if I'd let the magic of that person lead me astray. Even as he said that, Cannon couldn't be cold-hearted towards something Shannon was urging him to take. In the end, Cannon took it and agreed reluctantly, saying he'd proved that he wouldn't surrender to the witch's power. Shannon smiled and nodded back. I'm sure you'll be able to learn something important from it. And I'm sure you could become human. And when you do, I'm sure this ocean will look like a beautiful blue to you as well, Cannon-kun. Gray is gray no matter how many times you look. God, if this took place modern day, Cannon would most definitely have a Tumblr account with a sad Bart Simpson profile picture. Oh my god. That's wrong, Cannon-kun. It only looks like that because you have no... love? It's 4 letters. Also, God, what was I watching? I think I was watching someone, play through... what is it? Oh, this game. Someone was... I'm sorry. I was watching someone play through the first chapter. Or episode. I was not spoiling myself. I was not spoiling myself. I just like to watch people's reactions to things that, you know, I experience, because I want to see how similar. And someone in the comments noted that, like, whenever Maria was saying something and it was, you know, kind of asterisked out like that, it was because she was saying the word in English, and that's why the characters didn't know what she was saying. So I feel like Shannon's saying a word in English here. So hypothetically, could be love. Could be. Am I smart? Am I smart, guys? Please hype me up. Please hype me up in the comments. Huh? Because of the howling wind, he hadn't been able to catch the main point of what she'd just said. So Shannon said it once more. The single element of the world. She spoke once more of the world where it existed, where the sea was deep blue. I'm sure you'll be able to see a deep blue ocean too. After all, without love, it cannot be seen! Oh my god, I'm right for once. I'm right for once. Everybody clap. Everybody clap. That is one of my theories. Successfully confirmed and correct. Oh man, what a day. Oh, brother, it's Kinzo. I didn't think we'd see this guy again. Okay. Who is that? It is Cannon, Master. It was rare for Kinzo to leave his study. Cannon, are you gonna give the brooch to Kinzo? However, the fact that he hadn't didn't mean his noble research had been suspended. He may have left the study because of a change in mood. But that didn't mean the thoughts filling his head were any different from those he had while inside the study. Cannon knew that no matter what the time, speaking to Kinzo when he didn't want to be spoken to would always disturb his research. It's cloudy out there. It's cloudy. Will it get worse? Yes. According to the weather report, it could rain at any time. Shall I bring an umbrella? It will not come to that. And leave me alone for a while. If my children ask, say that you do not know where I am. I am busy on a journey through my own thoughts. Shit, I need to use that excuse. Nope, can't do it right now. I am busy on a journey through my own thoughts. Certainly. Then, if you would excuse me. Before Cannon finished bowing, Kinzo had already returned to his own world, having forgotten Cannon's presence completely. And once again, he began rambling to himself. Amidst those words, the name of that witch popped up many times. Oh, Beatrice. Beatrice. Leave her alone. My hand will not reach your smile. What can I do to revive you? What can I do to make you smile at me once more? What is lacking? My research, my materials, my catalyst? Or is it magical power, or luck, or an oracle? Oh, Beatrice, what can I do to see your face one more time? Oh. As Canon listened to his master's weeping voice with his— oh my god, he's crying! It cannot be that serious, bro! He turned around just once. When he did, right behind his isolated old master was the shadow of a person who shouldn't have been there. It was the witch, laughing at this guy. Oh my god. Kinzo, the ultimate cuck. At once, thinking that the witch must be plotting to do Kinzo some harm, Canon dashed. Oh, it's the resurgence of the dash. Oh boy, did I miss dashing. Dashed back to Kinzo and tried to form a shield with his body. But when he saw the expression on the witch's face, that emotion of his vanished. After all, Beatrice's expression was sorrowful, or maybe pitying. I don't know about that one. Oh, wait, can I? Hold on. I have to see him crying. Okay, it's... okay, that still doesn't look sorrowful, but okay. It's not as funny to laugh at. Why'd they fix his hairline? Like, he has like the most obvious receding hairline ever, and then they kind of like fix it. Elon Musk level of hair transplant. Oh my god. Okay. Nothing's changed. I don't know why, I just feel like something should have. Or I'm just insane and making things up. Oh, okay, now she's... You fool, Kinzo. Can't you see me, even though I am here? Wow, that is not British. Oh my god, wait, Loki, I kind of forgot. Right behind Kinzo, as he repeated the witch's name over and over, desiring to be reunited with her more than anything else, was the witch herself. And yet, Kinzo didn't notice anything. When Beatrice tried to rest her hand on his shoulder, he didn't notice. Why? Why does my hand not reach Beatrice's smile? Is it the age of the moon? The cycle of the comets? The alignment of the planets? What is lacking? What is? It's you, Kinzo. It's you. It's useless, Kinzo. Without love, cannot be seen. Canon took the brooch he had received from Shannon out of his pocket. By learning something new, would he become able to glimpse something he couldn't see now? Without love, it cannot be seen. He looked at Kinzo's back once more. The witch could no longer be seen there. That's crazy. Me personally, I just see her. I don't know about you. That's because I believe in Beatrice. I am #1 Beatrice believer. Yep, that's right. That's why I can see her. Okay, where are we going now? Oh, we're at a fair? Or a market? Or a something? A market? A festival? Are we to school? The biggest fall event for the Ushirmia family was the family conference in October. But to Jessica, there was another major event that came before that. The school cultural festival. Oh, we got the cultural festival episode now? Hey, at least I wasn't anticipating this one and biting my nails every time I wanted it to happen. Jessica liked school. To her, it was a place where she could let out the stress she'd built up from the rigid lifestyle she was forced to lead at home. For today's cultural festival, she'd formed a group with her friends, and had announced that they'd perform some light music on a temporary stage. She'd prepared and practiced for this over and over until today, always anxiously awaiting this day's arrival. But there was one thing that worried her. She looked at the clock. There was still a little time, but she felt uneasy. Would that person really come? Oh? After taking a single deep breath, her heart jumped when all her friends suddenly started speaking in shrill voices. No way, he and his boyfriend's so awesome! Isn't he? Rin's boyfriend looks really smart. Is it true that that guy's a glasses beast? No way, my husband will be a pretty boy! It may not be like this for all girls, but at least at Jessica's school, the cultural festival was basically a boyfriend exhibition. Jessica didn't have a boyfriend. She had many friends of the opposite sex, but no special only one. But Jessica was a little famous around the school, and everyone thought it'd be natural for her to have a fitting partner. Furthermore, her pride had led her to pretend that this was true. She'd somehow managed to keep them fooled until this year. But for various reasons, she hadn't been able to escape this year's cultural festival. Jessie, is your boyfriend here? What? No, looks like he's not here yet. Maybe he's busy with work. So, what kind of person is he, Jessie? At least give us what kind of relationship? Awesome, so he's working man. Will he come in soon? Of course, if we wear glasses, right? Hey, he actually doesn't exist, right? If we come clean now, we'll let you join us. Let's cry together through this year's cultural festival. Jesus, what the fuck? No, he exists. I told you he really exists. Jessica's bitter smile was covered with cold sweat. It was starting to seem doubtful whether she really had deceived her sharp-witted friends. Shannon? Okay, then how about making a fake boyfriend and taking him with you? Fake? Who? I can't think of anyone who'd do that. Oh god, is Cannon gonna show up? Look at... Hey fellow kids, I too am teenage hip like you. Shannon's ridiculous plan surprised Jessica into hysterics. Even so, it was probably more realistic than the crazy methods running through her head about getting a boyfriend and the big rush before the cultural festival. For example, what about Cannon Gun? Cannon Gun? No way. Anyway, I'm sure Cannon Gun has work on the day of the festival, and I don't want to bother him. Of course, I've already checked the schedule. Shannon, you're so conniving. Cannon Gun has that day off. Why are you always so clever when it comes to stuff like this? No, wait. It'd be even worse if he's off. I can't pull a boy from a precious day off just for my own vanity. If you don't pull Cannon Gun away, he'll always be shut away by himself. So I think it'd be perfect if you could drag him out of his shell. You think so? Am I crazy or are Jessica's eyes bigger than usual? No, but I feel bad for him. then I guess you're out of options. I guess you'll go there alone and sad, and you'd have lied to your friends. They'll all hate you, and I mean, you wouldn't want that, Jessica, would you? How about meekly confessing to everyone that you don't have a boyfriend? True, it may be terribly embarrassing, but you'd only have to endure for the short yet long time before graduation. To a pair of lovers, there's no sweeter honey than the face of a single person with an inferiority complex. Star. Shannon! You aren't really worrying for my sake, are you? You're teasing me, right? Oh my. Jessica wrestled about with Shannon, her eyes teary. But Shannon was unfazed, laughing with her usual smile. Yes, this is to get you back for making fun of me and George-sama all the time. Listening to Shannon's... I love seeing Shannon just so happy and being able to speak her mind and be carefree. Like, she deserves this, man. She deserves this so much. Sorry, I could have cut myself. Listening to Shannon's comeback, the likes of which didn't happen even once a year, Shannon hugged her cushion and rolled around on her bed, pretending to faint in agony. She couldn't stand Shannon's smile, which looked so triumphant. But right now, she was the only person Jessica could talk with. She could choke her to death with her cushion later. Is it really so bad, milady? It's a cultural festival, but it's also a chance for you to have fun with Canon-kun. No, that may be true, but no. Jessica buried her head in her favorite pillow to hide the fact that her face had grown bright red. And she grumpily chewed the fingernail on her thumb. It really was a reaction to be appreciated. Shannon and Jessica were of about the same age, of the same sex, and friends. And they were both right in the middle of puberty. They could never talk enough about love. That's why they could talk freely about these topics to each other. So, Jessica had heard a lot about how Shannon and George's love was progressing, and Shannon had heard a lot about what type Jessica liked, what kind of man she might be interested in. Judging by Jessica's reaction, it'd probably be rude for us to go into precisely what these things were. However, the story won't get anywhere if we just have Jessica rolling around forever, so let's dive in. What is with the sudden fourth wall break? Jessica had been thinking about Canon ever since he'd shown up. It was extremely rare for young men to visit Rokkenjima, so maybe it was natural for Jessica, a girl in puberty, to develop an interest in Canon. But if anyone said that, it would destroy the romantic ideals of a maiden's pure heart and love at first sight. Shannon had been with Canon a long time at the orphanage, so she'd known him since before they started working. So, Jessica had asked persistently about what his hobbies were, what his favorite food was, what type of girl he liked. Even to Shannon, it was clear that Jessica was infatuated with Canon. Come on. Isn't this a good chance to take Canon-kun on a date? But Canon-kun might also have someone he likes, so wouldn't he take it badly if I made him go with me just to show off? People who aren't honest with themselves, like you, are what was the word I learned from George-sama? That's right. I think it was Sundora. No, we're not doing this. Apparently there'll be all the rage in a decade or so. Oh, brother. Wow, George Nissan sure is incredible, managing to foresee future trends like that. Wink. Awesome. No, wait! Are you saying I'm living in the wrong decade? I give up. What was... I love these sound effects. They're so over the top. It took several days of wasted efforts, but in the end, Jessica agreed to the plan of having Canon pretend to be her boyfriend. And there he is. Hey, fellow kids. Is he gonna be wearing the hat? Or is he not gonna have the hat? I'm so curious. Yes, milady. Did you call me? Jessica regretted calling out at such a bad time. Cannon always looked sullen, but he had some bad days and some better days. Unfortunately, this reaction was the former. No, well, all that confidence and effort she'd built up practicing in front of a mirror all night was wiped out in about 5 seconds. Jessica turned bright red and hung her head. When he saw that, Cannon sighed. Jessica thought that he was exasperated with her, and her face went pale. I heard from Shannon. This is about having me go with you to the school cultural festival, right, milady? Nice son, Shannon. I mean, yeah, that's right. But, do you have any plans that day? I was strictly ordered by Shannon to work specially for you on that day, milady. Oh, God. Jessica's gonna lose her head, bro. I have never been to high school, so I don't really understand. But I hear it's a place where girls can be shamed if they don't have a boy with them. And I was given special orders to see that it had the daughter of the Ushimiya family is in no way inferior to the common people. Shannon, I'll beat you to death later! Jessica kept yelling with a strange voice and a broken smile like a tea kettle filled with boiling water. As Cannon watched this, he sighed once again. Cannon wasn't an idiot either. He fully understood what Jessica intended by inviting him. But, to be honest, playing along with Jessica's love game seemed like it'd be nothing more than an annoyance to him. However, Shannon had asked him over and over. He was deeply indebted to her, so he couldn't refuse. And that brooch was in his pocket. Could this strange turn of events have been brought about by the magic power residing in this brooch? Ridiculous. But he remembered what Shannon had said to him that day. Could Shannon see something he couldn't? I don't understand Shannon's feelings. We are furniture, as if we could never become anything more. It was a truly odd exchange between Jessica, who was still rambling on in a strange voice, and Cannon, who sighed deeply and could not give more. Could not give less of a fuck. Oh. Okay, flashing back forward. We're at the festival. He's showing up. Jesse, someone's here! Didn't you hear? Sorry. Who is it? As my friends all gathered together, they were looking this way with hard-to-describe expressions, whispering to each other in small voices that weren't small anymore. How tall is, Cannon? Is he short? Oh god, is he short? My attempt to play dumb felt pretty transparent, even to me. Did I really just say, sorry, who is it? Like I don't know who just showed up? It's useless, my mind's going blank. Oh my god! No way, that's Jesse's boyfriend, he's so cute! Wait, he's real? No way, seriously? Jessica, you traitor, he's incredible! He's younger? I never heard he was younger. Where's Jesse's boyfriend? She really is into little kids. It's like that one scene from Psyche K with Nindo, and when he's talking about his dad, he's like, maybe he did like little girls. Oh my god! Oh my god! Why is he dressed like that? He looks like he's a hitman. Hold on. Wait, they give him the hat back in this one. Did they really not? They just recolored the hat and called it a day. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Okay, that's enough. That's enough. That's... Sorry, I've had my fun. I've had my fun. Hey, aren't you late? I didn't know where the entrance was. I must apologize for my tardiness. Right, that outfit looks really good on you. Shannon said normal clothes wouldn't do, so we went and bought this the other day. Does it look strange on me? That's not true. Shannon, when I get back, I'll promote you 2 levels! It feels like everyone here's a girl. It's uncomfortable. I hate women. Yeah, isn't it? Come on, let's not hang around here. Let's get to the stage, okay? Cause I'll be up pretty soon. Yep. Come on, come on, come on. Jessica seemed just as uncomfortable. It looked like being bathed in everyone's interested gazes was hard on her. When he saw Jessica's appearance, Cannon thought he might have made things difficult for her by coming. I get the feeling I'm getting in the way. Am I being a burden? I told you, no way. Please tell me at any time if I start getting in the way. No way, he calls himself Funko! Yeah, I know that's like Japanese pronouns. There's different ways to do it, and I don't quite remember which one that is, but I feel like that's like... So isn't... I just know that one's like different. I know that one's different. I can't remember why it's different, but I know it's different, and I'm probably gonna look it up after this, just so I know. There's no way you'd get away, Cannon Cut. What would you like me to do, milady? Oh! He calls her milady! No way! She makes her call her lady like a butler! Oh, gee! Oh, gee! Sorry about that. No! You can't call me milady today! Is that so? As you wish, Jessica-sama. She's trained to call her Sama! Sorry, Kanika, could you close your eyes for just 3 seconds? I'm gonna kill all of you guys. As you wish. Why was there like a thunder? Oh yeah, she's beating them up. Oh my god, they're getting beat up. By the time Cannon opened his eyes, a horrible tragedy had occurred in the room. Everyone had been driven into the walls, their arms and legs outstretched. Jessica had slipped her brass knuckles back into her pocket before Cannon's eyes opened. Her what? She slipped her what? What is going on this episode? Anyway, let's go over to the stage. Our turn's coming up soon, so take a seat and wait for a bit. Cause we've gotta get ready. Go straight to the end here and you'll see a temporary stage. You'll know where to go. Please wait there. She pushed Cannon's back as he seemed to be having trouble moving himself and chased him out. Even though Cannon was confused by Jessica's attitude and her panicky state, which he'd never seen before, he followed her instructions and headed into the direction she had indicated. After seeing him off with an awkward smile, Jessica slammed the door shut and yelled loudly. There you go. You saw, right? You saw that. Are you happy now? Sucks for you. I lost a bet. Are you sure Jessie didn't have a boyfriend? Are you sure that That was just her boyfriend? I'll bet she's just abusing one of her servants, right? Wow, Jesse's boyfriend's incredible! Shut up. Come on, let's get ready. When Jessica took the brass knuckles out of her pocket again, everyone energetically returned to their tasks. Jesus, Jessica. Okay, we getting ready to perform? Cannon went down the corridor Jessica had shown him and ran into a temporary stage set up where the vending machine should have been. It was probably being rented by the hour by some group or club. The ones singing were student groups, but the crowd was still incredibly excited. Disliking that clatter, he leaned against the wall in the darkness by himself. So this is what they call high school. Sure is noisy. That's what Cannon thought. Then he remembered Jessica just now acting in a way that he'd never seen before. Honestly, she was in such high spirits that alcohol might have been involved. To him, remaining composed and intellectual at all times was the highest virtue. In that sense, it was very hard for Cannon to get used to the atmosphere of a school cultural festival. He had held a responsibility to report everything he saw and heard to the master. So he also had to report about how Jessica had acted without restraint earlier. At the very least, it was not fitting for the daughter of the Ushirmiya head family. Cannon, don't snitch. The master, Kraus-sama, and especially Natsuhi-sama, will probably be angry. If I'm to report it in a way that protects Milady, should I blame it on inappropriate school friends? What was all that? So stupid. The Cannon thought back on how Jessica had acted earlier and sighed again. He can understand Natsuhi's headache a little now. Come to think of it, Natsuhi-sama, as the president of the PTA, was supposed to go to an informal gathering after attending the ceremony in the gymnasium. Of course Natsuhi's the PTA president. She said she wouldn't be able to see Milady's performance, didn't she? That's probably for the best. Crowds certainly are unpleasant. What in the world is going on? Several female students keep glancing at me. It seems they're all whispering the same things Milady's school friends said, and it's truly unpleasant. Come to think of it, didn't Shannon warn me? If you walk alone at something like a school festival, you'd better watch out because lots of strange people will come and talk to you. Excuse me, are you by yourself? Just as expected, a group of girls I'd never met started talking to me. Their stares started to make my back tingle. Didn't she tell me some magic words that could chase them off in times like this? Get out of my way, you bitch! Sorry. I have a girlfriend. I'm with someone. Uh-oh, really? I'm sorry. Ah, it worked. Instant reaction. Well, that got rid of them, but it hasn't really changed the number of people staring at me. No way, is that kid Jesse's boyfriend? No ways, it's that kid. I can't believe it, I was sure he was fake. Isn't he cute? So he's younger, lucky Jessie. She's a cougar. There's no way I'll ever come to a place like this again. Cannon sighed for about the zillionth time that day. Jeez. When he did, the lighting changed and the standing audience started cheering. He looked around and realized that there was suddenly a large group of people there. And unlike earlier, they were mostly guys. With this huge crowd, he couldn't even see the stage. Fortunately, there was a fallen beer case nearby, so he tried using that as a footstool. When he did, he realized that there was now a new group on the stage. Their leader is Milady. She's changed into stage clothes, and she's even holding a guitar. I didn't know she could play. Then again, maybe she can play. I've seen her practicing air guitar before. Natsuhi-sama wouldn't approve of any hobbies outside of study. Maybe she was always practicing in secret. Come to think of it, she's been returning really late from school recently, hasn't she? Maybe she's been practicing at school, far away from Natsuhi-sama's prying eyes. It really is for the best that Natsuhi-sama didn't come. If Milady were to get scolded by Natsuhi-sama after putting so many hours of practice in, she'd probably be dejected. Natsuhi-sama! Alright. Everyone, thanks for gathering here today! I could hear Jessica-sama's forceful voice through the speakers. Jessie-sama? Maybe that's her nickname at school. The students in the audience kept calling out that name. I'm a little offended by that crude name. It's inappropriate for a lady. Jessica-sama was in high spirits as they kept shouting Jessie-sama. Everyone here was probably a fan. Her mic performance picked up on that and electrified them even more. It was almost like a music program on TV. At first he thought this was all silly, but that feeling had changed into appreciation. It was incredible in its own way. Oh, Canon. Canon never listened to music of his own free will, but he'd often heard the kind of music the Ushirmiya family liked. Since it was almost all classical, Canon had naturally taken a liking to that kind of music. So to Canon, the song Jessica sang was, how should you say it? Extremely colorful. In any case, if Natsu-sama heard it, she'd probably faint. Do I get to hear it? Oh my! Oh! We get a performance! Okay, I'll be quiet. But everyone looked like they were having a really good time. Was that slash hidden slash hidden slash hidden slash hidden supposed to be there, or is that just like a glitch in my thing? I don't know. But it's a nice song. It's different from my usual stuff, but you know. Some die-hard fans who had even brought pin lights sang along and danced crazily with the same movements, almost as though it had been planned ahead. You know, by the sound of things, I thought she was about to start playing, like, I don't know, heavy metal? On a stage, Jessica-sama also sang enthusiastically, dripping with sweat. He couldn't find a single element that was appropriate for a daughter of the Ushirmiya family, but it looked like so much fun. Jessie-sama! Jessie! Again today, behind me, the sound of footsteps. So, Oyashiro-sama is stalking me. Curses, disappearance, sacrifice, torture. Onikushi does that make me a good stack? Don't say Marisa. I don't know what any of what I just said is. I don't know what I just said. Woo! Do we get to see this outfit? I must not go along with it, but at any rate, Milady is full of life and looks like she's having a great time. As I watched Milady enjoying herself, I thought, could this be Ushirmiya Jessica's true nature? Don't I know better than anyone that during her life on Rokkenjima, she's had no choice but to kill her sense of self? So the time she spends not as Milady, successor to the Ushirmiya family, but as a single girl called Jessica, living life to the fullest, must be very important to her. I've worked close to Milady, seeing her in all seasons, and thought I knew everything about her. But that was all limited to one side of her, the Milady of Rokkenjima. We are furniture. We serve on Rokkenjima and end our lives on Rokkenjima. So I've come to think of Rokkenjima itself as our whole world, as though, like in Ptolemaic theory, the ocean spilled off the end of the world into an abyss. But when I look at Milady like this, I can see how horribly narrow that outlook is. I still can't go along with the excitement of the crowd, but I feel like I can see something that cannot be seen on Rokkenjima. I'm not sure if this is the unseeable thing Shannon was talking about, but the ocean still doesn't look blue to me. Canon. What is this orange? Is this the sky? Okay, it's the sky. I thought it was like a rock. We're looking at a rock or something. Wasn't the cultural festival at Jessica's school today? I hate this guy, sorry. How is the principal doing? He seemed to be in good health. That's right, Diet member Takamiya was also there. He said to give you his regards. Busy as usual? It appeared so. That person was also very energetic. Oh, and I believe President Imoto also made an appearance. Naturally, the topic of Jessica's cultural festival came up at dinner. School events often became social gatherings for local volunteers. It was the same for the Ushimiya family, who were celebrities around here. Nati remembered the name of one VIP after another at that social gathering, telling Kraus the news about them. Jessica didn't really have any interest in that discussion and rudely slurped her pumpkin soup. Milady, perhaps you ought to take more care with your manners. Yeah, sorry about that. Jessica, how many times must I tell you to watch your language? Yes, ma'am. Jessica answered, discouraged. When he saw that, Kraus smiled a little and paused his conversation with Natsuhi. How was the festival for you, Jessica? Well, it was okay. I was watching. You did an excellent job. Well... Jessica's face turned bright red. She probably hadn't imagined that Nati would actually come to see her on stage. She felt a mix of happiness and embarrassment. Actually, she hadn't really wanted her mother to watch, since she didn't want to be told that her music was inappropriate for the Ushimiya family. But it certainly didn't make her unhappy to hear her parents say she'd done a good job after watching her try her best. Jessica acted with both composure and dignity. Fitting behavior for the student's representative. Yeah. The smile that had been there until a second ago crumbled like sand. Jessica immediately realized that her mom was talking about something different. Jessica was also the school student president. She had no interest in doing something so annoying, but her parents had been pushy, so she'd grudgingly accepted. Unfortunately, she was popular at school, so she won the election easily. So, Nati was praising her for the student council sponsorship ceremony at the beginning of the cultural festival. Actually, she had just carried that out half-heartedly. After that, she immediately met up with her friend and held a stage rehearsal for the rest of the time. That experience of standing above people and bearing responsibility will surely prove useful in the future. I'm sure it will help Jessica mature as a member of the Ushimiya family. But you rushed a little while giving the greeting. You get a pass on content, but the fast pace of your speech lessened the impact. It might be help if you developed a habit of pausing every once in a while. Yeah. Oh, Jessica, it's alright. After she finished eating, Jessica didn't feel like going straight to her room. Her room was basically the place her parents had ordered her to be. So, perhaps for Jessica, instead of returning to her own room, being in an unknown location in this large mansion was a meager form of resistance. Okay. The garden. Jessica felt that even being in the mansion made it hard to breathe, so she went outside to the rose garden. Well, even if she did show up, I'm sure she would have said something about how it wasn't appropriate for a successor of the Ushimiya family. So isn't it better this way? Jessica laughed at what she was sulking over. She laughed at what kind of words she could have possibly been expecting. That was dumb of me. Yeah, I was just acting like an entitled brat. I'm a little exasperated with myself, and it makes me want to laugh. Milady. The cannon. Good. Don't scare me like that. Just as she was about to force a laugh, Cannon suddenly started talking to her, and she choked. What's up? Got something to say? Um, yeah? Jessica's expression became the one she always wore when looking at Cannon. The listless Jessica from a second ago was gone. If he had still only known Jessica as the eventual successor to the Ushime family, as he had until yesterday, he might have mistakenly thought that Jessica's mood had sprung back to normal. But that wasn't right. He now knew a part of her that he couldn't have seen until yesterday. So he understood that there was no way Jessica actually felt the way she appeared. Oh, about today's cultural festival. Oh, well, thanks for coming with me so I could show off. You saved my butt out there. That song, you were really good. Really? You're embarrassing me. Even though she had heard the words she most wanted to hear, Jessica acted shyly and couldn't accept them openly. I cannot sing, and I don't know how to play any instrument other than the harmonica and the recorder which I learned in elementary school, so I simply assumed you were the same, milady. At the time, Cannon had never felt as though he'd been looking down on Jessica in this way, but all the people he'd seen playing special instruments were on the other side of the bronze tubes in the TV. At the very least, he'd been under the impression that it'd be impossible for Jessica. I am furniture, so I didn't believe there was any need to sing or play instruments. But I'm not sure anymore. Seriously, Cannon-kun, enough with that I am furniture business. That's like a proper attitude you servants are supposed to have, right? Servants are supposed to be like living furniture. Genji-san says it a lot. It isn't just a proper attitude, because we really are furniture. I know the kids from the Fukuin house receive assistance from grandfather in various ways, and I realize how grateful you are for that. But it's a bit cruel for you to have to call yourself furniture just because of that. We're all human, aren't we? Cannon-kun, when you saw me singing, what did you think? It looked like you were having a lot of fun. I don't think that's true. Huh? You didn't just think it looked fun. You were envious, weren't you? That's not... Cannon probably hadn't noticed that emotion himself. Most likely, Cannon saw something he'd never seen before, learned about it for the first time, and felt envious. And to trick himself out of that emotion, he'd called himself furniture over and over. I know I'm a successor to the Ushime family or whatever, but... yeah, well, I'm sure there'll be a lot of annoying stuff to do from now on. As far as that goes, I can't do anything but give up since I was born under an unlucky star. Probably just like you had to live at the Fukuin house, I don't have a choice either. I couldn't choose the stars under which I was born. That may be true. But there's one place where you and I are completely different. Know what that is? I am furniture and Milady is not. She was about to say that, but stopped. I do not know. Kanekun, you decided that your fate determines everything about you, and you gave up. But I can't accept this kind of fate, so I do the best I can. So, while there's still the rigid and cornered me that's gotta stay as the daughter of the Ushimiya family, I've created another me that can do whatever, or to do what I like to do to the fullest. Another you. Yeah, Kanekun, you've been instructed to say because I am furniture. I'm sure you've gone through a lot of tough times just because of that. I think that's really unfortunate. But the idea that your entire life will be decided by that alone just seems sad to me. You know, it's always possible for people to create another self inside of them, a self they can truly grow to like. I'm not talking about escaping from reality, okay? When I'm that other self, I can really feel like I'm living a great life. So no matter how constrained and boring everyday life gets to be, I can always live on without suffocating. Huh. To make another self inside yourself that you can truly grow to like. To make another me. One that isn't furniture. Through her relationship with George-sama has given Shannon birth to another self that isn't furniture. And did this other Shannon see something that cannot be seen by furniture? That's right. Well, I don't know anything about your private life, Kanekun, but I can sort of guess. Your private life probably doesn't exist at all. Am I right? Kanon couldn't reply, but that answer was enough. Or that was answer enough. He had no concept of a private life. So, Kanon would always be Kanon. So, furniture would always be furniture. Kanon isn't your real name, right? In the Fukuen house, new graduates would be given new families and a new life, so they were also given a new name. In his case, that was Kanon. Certainly, this name of mine may be a temporary thing. Before, he had thought of himself as Kanon and no one else, but he remembered. There definitely had been another self that wasn't Kanon. But that was far, far away, beyond the distant fog of oblivion. So even for you, it should be okay to have times when you're Kanekun and times when you aren't. Maybe when you act as servant, that Kanekun calls himself furniture and strictly limits his own will. But when you aren't Kanekun, I think it's okay to live much, much more freely. Those words definitely weren't just lip service. Jessica had also been like this in the past. She had cursed her own birth into an environment different from all of her friends at school. Only she had been in a heavily constricted environment, forced to learn all sorts of things. And she had even been told whom she was and wasn't allowed to play with. It may have been sad, but she'd given up, resigning herself to the fact that she'd been born under that kind of star. But one day, Jessica stopped giving up and surrendering. Stuff like Ushimiya family customs and pressure didn't matter. She created a real Jessica inside herself, one who could do what she really wanted to do. You know, I go by the nickname Jessie at school. When I'm Jessie, I live life honestly and to the fullest. And because of that, I can do my best when I'm Jessica too. Would it really be so bad if you could also have times when you're Kanon and times when you're your real name? When you aren't Kanon, can you try becoming another self that you can like? A time when I am not Kanon. I'd once thought of his real name as being completely meaningless. Because of that, he'd thought Kanon summed up everything about him. And now, Jessica was telling him to create something new, another self that wasn't Kanon. Kanon-kun, if you don't mind, tell me, what's your real name? I actually really want to know too. Please, Kanon, please be forthcoming for once. He was silent for quite some time. Maybe Kanon's real name had risen to the tip of his tongue. After hesitating for a long time over whether he should say it. In the end, he didn't. Damn it! He swallowed it back down. I forgot. My name doesn't matter anymore. Those words contained a faint rejection. No matter what kind of name I had, the only truth now is that here, I am Kanon. The past has nothing to do with anything. The materials with which furniture is made, be it a trunk of a tree or otherwise, are meaningless in the end. I told you to stop that. You aren't furniture, you're human, right? I am not human. Kanon clearly voiced his refusal. It was with a rage that he normally didn't show. Jessica couldn't say anything back and was struck silent. You are human, milady. So you are free to live any way you please. And any kind of furniture is possible for you. Or future, my bad. I got so caught up in the furniture talk. It's almost like you have wings and can dance through the sky like a bird. But I am not like that. Even if I looked like a bird, I'd be nothing more than a domestic duck. Even though they have wings, they cannot fly. To speak of me, to speak to me, that dream in the sky, despite that, it's just too cruel. Furniture and ducks. What the hell is all this? No. Jessica had unconsciously gone along with Cannon's forceful manner of speaking, but she realized that she shouldn't fire back and swallowed her words. I don't know anything about you. I don't even know your upbringing, and I don't know the hardships you've been through. So I can't even imagine why you started calling yourself furniture. But know this. You aren't furniture or a duck. You're a real human. If you want to say Cannington's furniture when he's working as a servant, that's fine. But, in that case, don't you think you can create a self for when you aren't furniture? For when you're human? Only a human like Milady can embrace that possibility. I am not like that. I have no future, no possibilities, no dream that I am allowed to see. So, Milady, please don't say any more cruel things. Why? Why do you say stuff like that? Because it seems you mistakenly think I'm a human, the same as you, Milady. We are different sorts of beings. I just wanted to make that clear. I heard from Shannon. Something about Milady liking me. Huh? What? No. I look almost identical to a human. So, like Shannon, I could probably delude myself into thinking I'm human and pretend to love for a time. But then I would surely be fooling myself. No, I would be fooling you too, my lady. Shannon and George Summer will definitely fall apart. Even though Shannon herself probably realizes that day will come. She's taking part in such a stupid... There's nothing stupid about it. Sure, George Neeson's a wonderful person, and he's gotta match up to his parents' expectations. I'm sure when it comes to marriage, Aunt Ava will interfere in various ways. And, I think their future prospects look like they'll be full of trouble, okay? But, you know what? George Neeson isn't the kind of guy who will surrender to that shit. Shannon's no Juliet, and he'll definitely bring her happiness. People cannot engage in romance with furniture. What I'm trying to say is that even you can love furniture. Even if you can love furniture, I cannot love you, my lady. Those words of Cannon's crushed all of Jessica's bittersweet feelings from that day. There was no way her emotions could have predicted that she'd be refused so bluntly. In an instant, she lost the willpower that had led her to try and unravel something stubborn in Cannon's heart. And before she knew it, she was just standing there, in shock. Milady, if your feelings for me were due to my conceit, then I must ask you to forgive me. No. Well, I won't deny that. Thank you very much. Huh? Thank you very much for thinking of me as a human. Those feelings alone really do make me happy. Anything more would be too cruel for me, so... No, I said enough. Sorry about that. Jessica recklessly scratched at her head and spoke, trying to force her voice to sound bright. I just kind of ran on ahead by myself and was a burden on you. I'm really sorry. Sorry for causing so much trouble on your precious day off. No. I was also happy that I could see you having fun. Then, let's call it a night. If I don't go back to my room and turn off the lights, Mom will get mad at me again. That's probably for the best. I wish you a good night, milady. Yeah. Good night. Cannon saw Jessica trot away with her back to him, looking disheartened. But Then she suddenly broke into a reckless dash and disappeared in the direction of the mansion. As he watched her back, for just an instant, Cannon was tormented by the feeling that he'd just made a huge mistake. But he hadn't made a mistake at all. He'd been forced to refuse her now for her sake, while the pain was still at its smallest. Nice going, making a woman cry like that. Oh, Beatrice is back. Nice going, making a woman cry like that. I didn't expect you to refuse her that strongly. If you'd given a normal answer, another pair of lovers would have been born thanks to my magic. How long have you been there? What a horrible person. When he turned around, the witch was suddenly there. It looked like she'd been there the whole time, watching the two of them as though enjoying a play. I shall forgive you for your insults just this once, in deference to that amusing little show. Even after 1,000 years, no more interesting show exists than complications between boys and girls. To me, it's a pleasure that's better and more addictive than opium. Cannon pulled the butterfly brooch out of his pocket. It was the manifestation of the great magic the witch had bestowed. Oh, without hesitation, Cannon slammed it against the ground and stomped on it. Oh, Cannon. Oh? What is the meaning of this? You know, that was given by me. Just now I figured it out. What you're doing isn't as tasteful as being a cupid of love. You're just a demon who enjoys showing love to those who can never be together, deceiving them. You are free to think that. Most humans I lend my power to say the same thing. Don't play dumb. You didn't lend Shannon your power because you felt sorry for her. You found a weak point in Shannon's heart as her chest burned with love. You made her break the mirror that sealed you. What's more, you guessed how this would all end, and now you're toying with her. Am I wrong? Furniture is a thoroughly pitiful existence. So you have no dreams, no future, and even no love. Good, there is nothing better than knowing your place. As you noticed, there was a faint love residing in Jessica's heart. You seem to think you've snipped it in the bud. But, did you know? Trees grow thicker branches if you thin out and prune them. A girl who loves furniture, is it? Amusing. How truly amusing. Shannon and George will also eventually reach a stalemate with their unfulfillable love, ripening into the sort of large fruit I love. Regretfully, it seems to be going so smoothly for those two that it's hardly entertaining anymore. But on the plus side, it seems the two of you will amuse me to no end. The witch laughed. Even though she had known the two could never be together, she had lent the magic to bring them together. However, they couldn't escape the fate that prevented them from ever being truly joined. The witch knew that. Even if they were joined, Shannon and George, Cannon and Jessica, would eventually break up. They would wander through an endless desert in this hell of love, tormented by an eternal thirst. What? Did you think I'd lend you my power and ask for nothing in exchange? I'll gladly assist a pair in love, and in exchange I'll enjoy watching the cruel fate that'll eventually meet. I have never come across a better show, not over the course of 1,000 years. Just look at Kinzo. See how he ended up, an old pitiful man who learned the taste of love before being thrown out of paradise. Look at how he lives, like a dead man that cannot fully die. You truly are a witch. Disappear. Get out of my sight, demon. Oh, I would disappear even without your prompting. My power still hasn't returned. It is still tiring to continue showing myself. I overdid it when I gave you love as my power. As I am now, it will not be easy to maintain that power without that brooch as a catalyst. Kenan ground his foot even more into the stomped brooch. He felt it break under his foot. Then it evaporated like water, and changed into butterflies that sparkled gold, fluttering out from beneath Kenan's foot. Maintaining this form is quite painful for me as well. I will hide myself for a time, just as you desire. My magical power will rise as surely as the moon and the tides. And eventually, a fitting time will come for my revival. I know not in the slightest whether that will be tomorrow, next year, or even 100 or 1,000 years in the future. But as long as there are those who entertain me, I will surely gain power and revive. I will disappear for a short time, until that time comes. The bruise on the palm of your hand is already gone, so if you wish, tomorrow morning you can let my existence vanish like an illusion or a dream. After all, nothing saddens more than being forgotten. However, I will surely be revived. Be on your guard so that you will not regret that day's coming when it arrives. I will surely have my second coming and rule over everything as this island's true master. That is the time when the door to the Golden Land will be opened again. The greedy dead will surely wake me. You talk too much. Disappear now, Golden Witch. The witch became a cloud of gold butterflies and scattered away, leaving behind a scornful laugh. The whole area sparkled like a gold blizzard in a snow globe. It was a fleeting, fantastical scene that disappeared in a heartbeat. That's crazy. Oh my god, hello? The witch could no longer be seen. However, Cannon felt like he could still hear that shrill, unpleasant laugh. Probably. How amusing, how truly amusing. Why is the human world so amusing after all the years I've been away? Go mad with love, go mad with gold. Those who don't go mad from one of the two are not human. I see. So that's why the word furniture is so fitting. Furniture is created to serve humans, and I cruelly treat humans as playthings to sate my 1,000 years of boredom. What a truly amusing three-way deadlock that I cannot control furniture. Kenzo, you fool. What a truly entertaining scheme you've worked out. Furniture, you fools. Just you try and see if you can fell me. Tonight, 2 seeds of love has been sown, including the one already sown. That makes 3. Beatrice, why did you leave me alone in this painful world? I hate you. I will hate you for all eternity for not even trying to answer despite being yearned for so. Master, drinking anymore will be damaging to your health. Dr. Nanjo warned you as well, did he not? Be silent, Genji. You do not understand. You do not understand my grief and sadness. And I believe that at least you, my oldest friend, will understand my pain. Why can you not understand? Oh, Beatrice, why did you leave me all alone? What the hell do you mean, furniture? I don't get it. Oh, poor Jessica-sama. Even though the cries I hear coming from your room tell me of the situation, there is nothing I can do. This is all a tragedy due to a pair who are too young, getting too close when the positions of their birth are too distant. I can do nothing but understand Milady's feelings, hide my footsteps, and quietly walk away. Damn. Well, I say now is as good as time as ever to, end out the episode. Oh, Shannon's outfit's back. Today was quite emotional, I'd say. I also went a little longer than I was planning to, but, you know, that's alright. We're just enjoying ourselves. Man. So, we got the school cultural festival episode and a lot of heartbreak, especially on Jessica's end. Rip her feelings, bro. F in the chat for Jessica, and kind of an L for Cannon, but you know, that's not his fault, that's how he was raised. Anyways, I'd like to thank you guys for watching, especially tuning in on Christmas if you celebrate. If not, I hope you all just have a great day in general, and I hope you enjoyed. See you guys next time. Bye!